happened next with the police?
We spoke for a couple of seconds. I asked him whether he needed to come in, and he said that he didn't.
Did not need to come.
That he did not need to come inside the apartment. So
Okay.
I went in, and again, my wife, my son. I put my son in the shower, and then I went to talk to my wife, and she said, "What happened?" And I said, "You know, we went into an not agreement. I'm sorry, I cannot think of the word, but yeah, an altercation with a person in the car, and he says, "Who's outside?" He says, "The police," and she said, "Did you tell him?" I said, "No, I didn't tell him." So I leave my wife and I go outside. I open the door, and now there's 2 officers at the door, and they ask me. I can't remember what they asked me, but they said, "Can we see the car?"
Okay, what did you say?
And I said, "Yes, of course." So
where did you go?
I live in an apartment building, so we were riding down the elevator, and I told the first officer that was there. The other one didn't even speak, and I said, "Listen, I'm sorry, but I didn't tell you everything." So, I was driving the car a short time ago, and I basically told him about the incident, about everything, and he asked me about my brother-in-law, and I said, I took him to the airport. He's in the airport. Well, I told him right away, "Listen, if you need to talk to him, I need to call him, because it's an international flight. They're gonna board that an hour before the flight, and the flight is at 9 p.m. So we only have a couple of minutes." And he said that he didn't need to talk to him.
The incident that happened that we've seen on the video that you and I have talked about, you testified to the judge. You recall the time of day when that occurred?
Around 7, I think.
Okay. So 2 hours before the flight?
Yes.
On 27th Avenue?
Yes.
Was Pablo upset? Was he upset that you were late going to the airport?
No.
Okay. Let's move on. So you tell the police this. You ask them if they want you to call Pablo. What happens next?
So he says that no, he doesn't need to talk to him.
Okay, so what happens?
But then we sit down in the entrance of my building, and the 2 officers were talking among themselves. And after a couple of minutes, he comes to me again and says, "Do you know the flight information?" So I said, at the time I remember the time it was departed. So I said, it's a flight that is from Miami to Mexico City, and it's departing at, I think it was 9:07. I can't remember now, but it was something like that. And so if you talk to him, he said, "Do you remember the flight number?" I said,
"Objection, hearsay."
Okay, did you offer to call?
Hold on a second. Mr. Weiss, the